My name's Alisha TV, that's what they call me. My full name's Alisha Whiteway, and the TV actually stands for Tellurvision, and we are here in Raleigh, North Carolina. So right here in the Triangle, that's what we call our area, and we're having a gorgeous day. It's so wonderful out here to be sharing this information. So very excited to be here. Tellurvision, you want to know what that's all about?
Please do. Tell me about Tellurvision. Tell me about when you started it.
Sure. Well, Tellurvision is kind of an epiphany moment with Heather O, actually, which you'll get to meet soon enough. And Heather and I were talking. I said, I need a new acronym for TV because TV is so negative. And when you think of television these days, it's like turn it off already. Like too many commercials, too many bad news stories. I was like, get me out of this. I don't want to be living in this TV world, but I love the acronym TV. And Heather O goes, Tellurvision. And I go, what? I'm like, okay, that's it. So thank you, Heather O, for that. I've always been a big believer of we need to bring those values back. Like we need to embody the same things that we were brought up to believe. And living a simple life, living a life full of giving back and changing people's lives. And then I thought, oh, the only way I can monetize that is become a broadcast journalist. Right? I went to intern first, which is what you should always do, is try it out first. I did not like it. I was like, get me out of here. It was like murder, crime, fires, rape, theft, every day, scanners going off, running out, and then you meet people at the worst time in their life, right? So, September 11th happened, I can remember, or, interviewing victims whose family members were aboard like Flight 93, or those are the times I want to interview people, you know what I mean? Like, I want to interview people when they're doing amazing things. I want to interview people when they've overcome adversity. So, the newsroom wasn't for me. I joined the military, and I, for the first time, got to tell the story my way, and I got to highlight soldiers who were doing amazing things. So as an enlisted soldier, I did all the soldier things. I had my own truck that I took care of, like a Humvee, we call it a truck. I had my own Humvee with my name on the window, and I wore the fatigues every day. I lived in a little wooden, we call them sea hut, I lived in a little wooden hut in Bosnia-Herzegovina for a year. And every day I'd go out and I would escort media around. I'd escort all the people that I potentially had wanted to be in my former life. I was escorting them around the country, and I was showing them where the stories were. And I was alongside them with my own camera. I wanted to be able to pave my way through college. So I knew by transferring to the reserves in Hawaii that they would pay for part of my school. As a graduate, it's really cool to get a diploma or degree, at a university. But what's even better is the very next day, you go through a ceremony, you wear your Army uniform, and you actually get pinned as an officer in the United States Army. So now you're one of the leaders. At one point, because of my history of being a broadcaster, I got called forward at one point, and the colonel asked me to be a journalist and broadcaster, but lead a marketing team to tell the people's story again in Iraq. So once again, even as an officer, I got the opportunity to tell the soldiers' story. So I had soldiers on radio programs here in the States, I had soldiers getting articles written about them, and I was really showing the community that people were making a difference, people were okay, people were living, and we actually raised $12,000, I believe it was, for the American Red Cross in Iraq for Hurricane Katrina victims while deployed over there. There's a difference between loving a child and being loving to a child, and then being supportive of their goals, aspirations, and dreams, and then helping lift them up to achieve those. And I believe that's what a mentor does. They see potential in you beyond you, and then they help bring out those things in you by talking to you about them, or by teaching you things, or introducing you to other people who can teach you those things. It wasn't until recently I went to a Go-Giver tour with Bob Berg in Florida, and he, at the end of the conference, this is an author, right? This is like somewhat celeb, right? This guy knows millions of, thousands of people, millions of people have read his book. And he hugged me at the end of the conference, and he knew my first name. And he said, Alisha, he said, you have something really special. You have a gift. And your gift is connecting people, and you need to realize that. I think that's one of the main messages I want to drive home to kids, teens. You don't have to look for that one spectacular thing that you do that's better than everyone else who does that similar thing. That's a talent. You don't need to find your talent. You need to embrace your differences, what makes you different, what makes you special, and that might be a challenge. You know, I have a sleep disorder. I struggle with weight issues. You know, I work out all the time to watch and balance that out. I mean, we're not perfect, right? But it's like, embrace those things. You know, I've got 3 people in the past 2 months to join a gym because of my challenge, right? And that's inspiring to people. And it's amazing to be that person that through your challenges, you can embrace them and turn them into a strength and make a difference in people's lives. People right now are taking a stand, right? And you've seen this with your hundreds of interviews. And I'm like you, like, I'm seeking those people out. And they're next door, right? They're next door. They're not down the street, and they're not in another state. They're not in New York or LA. They are next door to you. And you can be that person, right? You can be the person that they're talking about. Tell your vision. That's what my mission is. It's to help entrepreneurs and teen entrepreneurs and organizational leaders and your average everyday citizen tell their story and tell their vision. And more importantly, not just tell the story, but help put that into motion. What does that look like for them? You know, giving them the power to go online, shoot video, and get that message out to the world globally. It isn't about me. I think that's the one thing. It's like, it's called Alisha TV because I happen to help tell people's vision, but it was never about me. It's about blessing people and having them believe in themselves. I'm on a mission to bring America back, you know, back to that land of opportunity, of optimism and belief that we can overcome these things, pulling the communities together, and not seeing kumbaya, because it's not, you know, it's not always sunshine, but do something. Like, if you're living in a world of misery right now, like, get out of it by fixing it, using it as an opportunity. And so there's a lot of things that are different right now that I've never seen, but I'm an optimist and I can only be the best me. You know what I mean? So, you know, my view of America is that we still are that land, we still have the freedoms, and be grateful, have the gratitude for the things that you have. Because when you're in a mindset of gratitude, try feeling 2 things at once. Try being angry and being grateful at the same time. Like, it doesn't work. You have a choice. Choose gratitude. I just still think we're the greatest country. I still think our country is defined by the people in it.